is for friends.
I thought this music was so epic.
We all like talking about gaming. The only thing that I disliked about the old game. There are so many different conversations started by gaming.
Oh, I forgot. I have you.
This could be anything. Okay, walk in that green goo. Oh, nope. That's a no. Anything Gaming Podcast. Hi, and welcome to Anything Gaming Podcast. We're finally back after 2 weeks of me dying and whatever. And this is Woody. He's back as well. How are you?
Hey,
today?
I'm back. I'm doing great. It's late where I am now, but it was a good day. I've been playing a lot of Mario Wonder on my time off. That's pretty much been my off time since being on my own, as it were. Also, I've been doing some more videos. I've actually kept up a lot with my Duke Nukem videos on my YouTube channel at Analycat83, if anyone's wondering. That seems to have been getting a good audience. Plus, Black Mesa I'm playing through right now. We've sometimes talked about Half-Life on this channel, so all that talking about it kind of made me want to go back into it. But how have you been?
Well, yes, well, I'm just back from PAX. If anyone didn't know, I went to PAX. I had a little game there, and we were displaying it at PAX. And this is my first time actually going to one of these gaming conventions and displaying something, not just being the guy that kind of goes and looks at everybody else's games. I was that guy that was trying to sell you my game. So it's a different point of view. So in this show, we'll go through a bit of that, and we'll probably get back onto a bit of Mario Wonder later on, if you're wondering what we wonder about Mario Wonder. Whoa.
Yeah, good. See, that's what happens when you come back from PAX. Your mind is enlightened, and you can make quick puns.
Yes. So, look, PAX, if for anyone that doesn't know, it's a gaming convention. There was 75 indie booths. Nintendo was there. And there's also tabletop, there's a cosplay section, and then there's a lot of like talks or like game people that will do things like the guy from the Doom music, what's his name? Mick Gordon, yeah. He was there doing a talk about how he did Doom and all this stuff, all the music and that.
Phenomenal soundtrack.
Yeah. So, and our music guy for our game actually is like obsessed with Mick Gordon. So he asked for a leave pass so he could go and watch him and do that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what PAX is. It's this big event. We actually were lucky enough to get one of the 75 booths to actually show our game. They deemed our game okay enough to show people. And it's a lot of work because like we did this back in February, applied for it. So all the time up to there, we actually put all the stuff together to go to PAX. That includes making a demo and that kind of stuff. And the interesting thing is you get to see people like Nintendo setting up, and they were like literally like we could almost touch them. They were next to us kind of thing. So you kind of feel almost in royalty when you're working next to Nintendo. It's really cool.
It just seems like such a great journey, like you said, from applying to actually being there, rubbing shoulders with the greats. And I'm sure you also rub shoulders with a lot of great peers as well, other indie developers on the scene. Trying to, get their piece of the pie, so to say. Was there anyone that you knew anyone you communicate with somewhere in there?
Yeah, that's a great question because I've been on Twitter for a long time now. If anyone doesn't know, I was kind of on Twitter when it started, just about, and I've met a lot of game developers on Twitter. So it was really kind of funny actually meeting those people in real life. It's like, hey, I'm at PAX, and they're like, hey, I'm at PAX, and we're like, oh, do you want to meet up? Like, it's this scary moment. They could be like assholes, or you don't know what these game developers are going to be like. But they turned out to be like wonderful people. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but it's meeting these people that you've kind of, it's weird knowing people from a social media point of view and then meeting them in real life. It's kind of creepy weird. And we did have the one super fan too that turned up. I'll get to that in a minute because that gets a bit, not creepy, but gets funny.
Oh, no, we can do that. Okay, so were you actually able though to like, how much of Nintendo did you get to see? Because you're at your booth, you're working.
Yeah.
You know, you're on the job more or less, so you can't wander around. Like from your vantage point, did you get to see any of the big boys? Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, Data East, anything like that?
Microsoft and Sony didn't turn up.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't. They just boycotted PAX because they're doing their online thing. Everything changed after COVID. So in the COVID period, everyone used to turn up at these events. Every gaming company, and then all of a sudden, COVID made everyone do stuff online. So now people or gaming companies are like, "Oh, we can host this Sony online event, and people will come and like see that, and we can show that to more people." And get our message across to more people. We don't have to go to these PAX events. But Nintendo decided to come out. Mario Wonder I think it came out the same time in the States here, but you could play Mario Wonder at PAX. So it was like really good timing for Nintendo, being like a week or two before the actual release date. So
yeah,
they were like loving it. All the attention was given to them.
How was the crowd? Like, how was because you're not part of the crowd now. Now you actually get to look at the crowd from outside looking in. How was that? Any crowd situations or stories you want us to tell us?
The crowd are they're all behind these big doors that are kind of just a little bit open, so you can kind of just see. And there's probably like 100 or probably 50,000 people standing in this line to get into PAX. And it starts building slowly, like a little bit at a time. And all of a sudden, you're there going, oh, this is getting bigger and bigger. And then they start playing Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine, and they open the doors and everyone just comes flying through.
Oh, my God.
It's so epic. Yeah.
For full disclosure, I don't mind crowds. But I mind being in crowds for a long time, so I don't really hit any PAX, any type of con. I went to one con for a French bachelor, so I don't feel like I know the experience that well. But I could just assume like a concert or just another major venue, just like I've been part of that blob, So, and it's different when you're there, because then you just feel like, yeah, we're just going to go see our thing like we normally do. But to see it from the outside looking in, I mean, it must have been frightening and probably a little intimidating, if you will.
I've always wanted to buy PAX merchandise. I've been to PAX many times before and wanted to go and get their merchandise. And the lineup is so long. It's like 3 hours to get merch. And I'm like, I'm not going to waste my day getting merch. So on the Sunday, the last day, I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to run over there, line up for merch. I was like first in line to get merch. Go and get all the merch before everyone else turns up. And literally, as I get to I'm standing at the front of the line, and then the line just goes zoom, and it's like 3 hours long. And I'm like, oh, thank God. That was one of the perks, yeah.
How were the accommodations? Where was PAX located exactly?
Okay, so PAX is in the Melbourne Convention Centre, which is close to the CBD. Now, we're in Tasmania, which is the little island below Australia. So we had to either do a boat or we had to fly over to PAX. And we decided to fly, but that kind of came with its difficulties because we got 2 monitors, all these PCs, all these things we've got to transport over. We had about 10 kilos of merch, and you can only put like 25 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds. Sorry for
Neither do I. Neither do I.
Sorry for not converting this out for people to understand. But Yeah, so we basically didn't take hardly any clothes with us. We've got like a shirt each, and no, we had a couple of shirts and some stuff, but our bag were filled with all the stuff to do and merch, and that made it funny too, because Nintendo's kind of setting up, and they've got like these big wooden crates that they're pulling all their gear out of, and here we are, and we're like, hey, we're just going to wheel our suitcases into the thing and look like these unprofessional people that are setting up for PAX out. But, we're not big enough to have wooden crates yet. That's the dream, to get to wooden crate status. So
Right. Now you'll get there.
Yeah.
You get there. Oh, and by the way, for the audience, it's a little over 51 pounds. Sorry, man. I you got me going on that. I was just like, damn it, I need to know the answer to this.
Yeah.
So, did you stay? Was there how was the accommodations? I mean, you had to get your own hotel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. So we just got our own hotel. Us three guys
sleep in the van.
Yeah, no, it's three guys. We had a bed each, but in this really kind of cramped room because we were trying to save on costs. And
hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. And the music guy, he did a lot of snoring. So
singing in his sleep. He was singing in his sleep.
Yeah. So we had we had two people that weren't sleeping as strongly as one person was sleeping.
Yeah. Probably mad at him the next morning.
I think. Well, the thing is, after a big day at PAX, you're kind of really exhausted by everything. So you kind of do sleep because you're just so tired. And yeah, it was good fun though. Like it was like a boys' weekend with a mission at hand, if you know what I mean. Like we'd go out, have dinner and a few drinks, and get laugh and joking the whole time. We went for Korean barbecue one night, and the lady is showing us how to do. We're like, we don't know how to do this Korean barbecue stuff, and yeah, it was good fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, back to the actual job on hand. I mean, you were there to promote Light Haze World.
Yeah.
I've played it. I'll get more into that. How was the reception to it, to the people that came up to you? I mean, how many people did you actually have come up to you? The big crowd. I'm sure they went to.
Yeah, they kind of all run past to go to Nintendo first.
Yeah.
But then we were kind of one of the more busier indie booths. We had people lined up to play the game, like from morning till night. You know what I mean? People constantly lined up to play the game. It was really, really positive. And the demo goes for about 20 minutes. We kind of thought people would play it for 5 minutes type thing. But these people were playing all 20 minutes of it and then going and trying to play it again. And we're like, hey, there's more people lining up. Like, we had to kind of keep ushering people away.
Nice.
So that was really positive, and people smiling and loving it. Also, the age groups was, I should say, that was kind of really interesting too, because we had kids as young as 7 going through the game unassisted. You know what I mean? And like obviously some older people as well. And that was nice, just seeing a really big demographic of people playing the game. So.
Well, I mean, it for the record, the game is technically it doesn't have a rating yet, right? Because it's not actually, yeah. So, but from what I played, it didn't look violent or anything like that. So yeah, it'll probably be available and that will be a good demographic. I mean, it's hard for me to put myself in the view of a child playing the game, but as an adult playing a game, I respond to it very positively. Did any of your peers, though, try out your game, or maybe you tried some of their games too? I'm sure you got a chance to maybe, venture forth and play something.
I did play a few little games around the place. I can go through a 5 that I kind of really like, if you like, or do you want me to say that?
I would love it because I want to, because like, the glitz, the glamour, and all that's good with PAX. But what I like about all conventions like that is that you have people working their butt off to make their dream come true.
Yeah.
And that's what these video games are. So I would absolutely love to hear them.
So I would probably start with, let me just see the dungeon experience. It's a very, very, I don't know if you'll understand the humor. Like, it's a very sarcastic humor. So like some people don't get the Australian sarcasm. So
it's Australian sarcasm. Ooh.
Yeah, which is very, very dry, and can be. But you have to watch the trailer. It's about like this crab that goes through a dungeon, and it's hilarious. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not sure.
Our sarcasm is wetter than ever. All right, American sarcasm. We put mustard on that.
Yeah.
We put whatever condiments we can on our sarcasm to dress it up.
We'll say something, and then we'll be like, well, we're not sure if you understand it, and we're not sure if we want you to understand that joke. We're just going to make that joke anyway.
And Americans are more like, you don't need to understand this.
Yeah, Rose and Locket it's a 2D platforming game. That's the guys that I've known for a long time now. They're actually from New Zealand, which is across another body of water if you're looking at Australia, on the right-hand side of Australia. So they came with the New Zealand contingent. And yeah, it's the art in that game alone. I've been following them making this game for probably 5 years now, and the art is just next level. I just really love what they've kind of done. It's going to blow up, that game, I would say.
Nice. Oh yes, that's good.
Yeah. I suppose everyone was going on about Dredge. It's a game where you go in a boat and you kind of just go around trying to pick up things from in the bottom of the harbor. You've got like a hook, and you throw down the hook and pull up some stuff and see what you get. And you're trying to find things that lead to treasures and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's a pretty, I suppose, interesting kind of game, but I don't know how it gets in the horror genre. That's what I'm not seeing it as a horror game.
I mean, some games, there are plenty of games that really skirt the line there. There've always been.
Yeah.
Even just something that might be unsettling. I mean, Earthbound is by no means a horror game, but you get to Threed, all right?
Yeah.
And that game starts to get really creepy. So, some games do that, and nothing wrong with that. I like it.
And I have to give a bit of a shout out to Memories Reach, which was the only other really puzzle game. So like our game's a puzzle game. They did a puzzle game. So it's kind of like they were the only puzzle kind of friends there. I suppose some of the others are lightly puzzle games, but to have like full puzzle games, there was only 2 that were there. So that was interesting.
I mean, like, I can only assume. Now, mind you, no knowledge of game creation outside of, Mario Paint drawings and Mario Maker levels.
Yeah.
But I can only assume that anything puzzle related that you must create must be taxing. I mean, just like, it's hard enough to come up with a solution to a puzzle, but to come up with the other part of the puzzle too, it seems to be, could be very, very challenging.
Okay, so yes and yes and yes. In the puzzles that I've created, I've made them in a way where you can't break the puzzle. So that means I have to go and make the puzzle, make the solution, and then also test it to make sure there's no way that you can break the puzzle. Like, there's no reset button on my puzzles, which even makes it more challenging to design than just,
Was that a design goal? When you first started designing this game, was it like no reset button? I don't want that. Or did it just come organically? Just, happen to...
No, it was something I always wanted to have no reset button. I find it cheapens a puzzle game. If you can reset it, like the idea of what I was trying to create was something more peaceful. It's a challenge, but like you're not stressing about these challenges. And every time you can reset it, that makes it like infinitely more harder, almost, the puzzles, because you can break it so there's not really a wrong answer. Where, this here you can only kind of get the right answers from it all. It was more about the thought process than the actual just making it super hard. I hate super hard puzzle games, and there's way too many of them. Everyone thinks, oh, let's make a puzzle game. We'll make it so hard that everyone just completely loses their brains. 2 levels in and everyone chucks it in. Oh, that was fantastic, but I don't understand the puzzles.
No, and that must be an incredibly tough line to skirt. I mean, I've played plenty of games that, they're meant to challenge you and puzzle you, and there's just some that you're just like, nope. I hate a lot of that with The Witness. Because that was just vague.
But see, I really love the idea of that. Like, it just seems like such a fun game. But then they made it. I love it. Then it just beat you. The game beat you, and it beat you so bad that you either went to YouTube just so you could search for answers, or you kind of beat your head against the wall until you worked out what they were thinking. Like,
see, with that game, I never looked up the answers. I just wanted to look up how I get the answers. Just tell me the rules. Half the time, the game wouldn't even tell you that. It'd vaguely tell you. Don't vaguely tell me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so how about when now you play their games? They must have come over to you and played some of your games. Did they give you any good feedback? Any good?
Most of the peers that you had playing your games were people that were starting a project or partly through a project, and they wanted to kind of. They hadn't kind of got to where they had to get to yet, and they were kind of sussing out, having a look around PAX so they could see what they were going to do next year if they could make it to PAX. You know what I mean? It was kind of like a research adventure. But the people that were actually displaying, it was really hard to get time to go and see other people's stalls. That you could see the guys in the booths next to you. You could go and see their stalls quickly, but the guy right over the other side, or the girl over the other side, you couldn't physically get over there because you were kind of like more worried about your booth and what was happening for your game.
Yeah, of course. Nothing like. How can I put this well? Was there anything especially memorable that you may have saw, like maybe not even game related? Although if it is game related, that helps. Just something that like maybe was a once that like, wow, look at that happening.
I suppose it's just the cosplay. You can just never. Just the cosplay. I have so much admiration for people that can go in costume all day to these events. Some of the people, oh my God, they must have spent. I reckon they finish PAX and they start on their next PAX costume for next year, the day after. I reckon that's one thing I don't think that gets brought up a lot is like you look at some and you can just be like, oh, visually just like take it for granted, like, oh wow, that's a good hat, or oh wow, that's hot. But just the work and the planning that goes into actually making these things, wow. Like I don't even know where you'd start, Oh, I don't know how they do it either, because like some of them must like get bits of plastic and then they'll cut it out, and then they'll get their little spray guns and they'll paint it different colors. And I just think it's a lot of work to get these cosplays up and going. And them people, they need the most respect, because Jesus, they've done some great work on their stuff. So
no, yeah, absolutely. The only other time I cosplay is my Mario onesie that's in my closet right now. Halloween's coming up. I'm gonna be breaking out soon. That's pretty much. And of course the video game T-shirts is what I try to represent at any point.
Yeah, I've got the Lighthazel one.
Oh, you do? Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Nice. Yeah. Where we represent the past and the future. How about that? And everything in between.
Yeah.
How was it when you were wrapping up? Like, when you had to dismantle after everything, was that difficult to do? I mean, was there like a certain
I
checkout
was
time, or
I was really no. You've got the whole next day, but most of the indies are they're trying to get their stuff and go. Like literally, I was surprised at how fast the indie section was gone. I think PAX finished at 5 o'clock kind of thing. No, 6 o'clock on the Sunday, and we were all out of there by 7 o'clock. Like that's
wow?
fast. Like you're basically just taking. It probably takes longer to set up because you kind of get your PCs there, you get your monitors, all that, and then you test your game. And then, is this how you want that? Do you need some more bits and pieces? Do you have to go to the store and get this and a new cable for that or this? And I reckon you spend a lot more time setting up than you do unsetting. So.
And hey, since we're talking about leaving, I just want to give a shout out because I've never heard anyone give this group a shout out. The people that got to clean up after all these conventions. I'm assuming it can be a mess. I'm sure that some of the trash bins, the cosplayers' bathrooms must be horrendous. All right, like let's be honest. Someone's got to go in there and wipe that stuff up.
That was one of the advantages of being the booth person. Because we could get in there at 8 o'clock. So everyone that had a booth would get in there at 8 o'clock. Then they go and use the toilets before everyone else, so they could get the clean toilets. You didn't
because while the guy is putting on his Hazard Mark V Half-Life suit in the stall, and you're holding it in. Yeah. So big shout out to, of course, the sanitation, the cleanup of the PAX.
If you want to experience, I'm going to say this: if anyone out there that doesn't have a game, but you want to experience kind of a bit more behind the scene at a PAX or any of these conventions. I don't know what they're called at other conventions, but I do know at PAX they're called enforcers. So these enforcers are not paid. They're not paid people. So all you do is apply to PAX and you get a badge, and you can kind of go almost as far as an indie developer or a game developer, an exhibitor. But you've got to work. So you've got like 6-hour shifts that you have to do. So you pretty much have to walk around almost as like not so much security, but just kind of making sure everyone's doing the right thing. If people aren't doing the right thing, then you go and call security and stuff like that. But you get like a whole heap of allowances to be these enforcer people. So, and you get to experience PAX from the other side almost. So I think, yeah, if you want to do this, try that. And there's some weird people, these enforcers, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
One of them had like a dog enforcer with them, their little pet dog.
Hey, if you're willing to step up and enforce the PAX law,
Yeah, I think it's like a badge of honor. I think they love it, these enforcer people, because they've got this badge of we're a little bit better than, we're kind of like, I don't know, in a gaming sense where you would say there's like Prestige 1 kind of thing on Call of Duty. You know what I mean?
I'm assuming that everyone else at these conventions can't stand these enforcers, right? Just saying. I don't know.
No, they're not bad. They're kind of really fun because they'll come up to you.
They don't get mad with power or anything like that, right?
It's more.
All right, yeah.
I think everyone at these events is normally in a decent kind of mood anyway, but these enforcer people kind of come around, hey, you having fun? And kind of like more like the fun police. They come around trying to cheer everyone up and kind of keep spirits up. And by doing that, it causes less ruckuses.
Now that you mention, now that you mention it like that, that sounds good. All right, you kind of convinced me. I don't think I do it. But still,
you can do PAX.
Oh, I'd be corrupt. East. I'd be the most corrupt enforcer they have ever had, man.
I was paying him off with stickers.
I would take him bribes. I'd be like, signing off on things. You don't want to give me the badge. I'd be a security risk.
Yeah, that's what you want to be. Like PAX Eastern, you can be that.
To have that power, yeah.
Yeah.
See, now I'm addicted. Now I got to do it and try to become the most powerful enforcer of PAX.
I want this. This is what you're doing next year. I'll come to
I
PAX
want to be
Eastern, and
I
we'll.
want to be the boss Tweed of PAX and PAX enforcers. Just brutal.
Well, they get to have their own nickname on their T-shirt. They get these cool yellow T-shirts that I assume that no one else kind of gets.
Yeah, that's cool. I could
Yes.
use a new shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're allowed to wear them outside of the PAX kind of world, or I don't know what people do with them, but yeah.
Like if I go outside wearing it, does a van drive by? It just chases me through the streets.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I think that's exactly what happens.
After the cleanup, after you were done, now you're home. You're back home.
Yeah.
Anything happen to you when you get home at all?
Yeah, like I did get a lot of COVID. That was really fun. That's where they kind of stopped the show last week. I was just not really flash. COVID, you're exhausted mentally and physically because you've got to be really, I don't know. For me, I like to be really positive about the game, and you're kind of like sharing your soul almost when you're sharing your game. And then you get home and you just feel tired emotionally and physically, like you've been standing up and doing all this stuff. So it's exhausting. Like literally I couldn't move for 2 days once I got home. But
Well,
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, it sounds like an incredible journey that you had. Sorry, when you got home, it didn't continue on that well. But now the aftermath. How has Light Haze World done? Like, how is the perception of that now that you've shown off at PAX? As it's stock raised? I mean, is there buzz?
I think there is a little bit of a buzz. It was really good to see that people that are just more than your friends, but like people that you kind of don't know, and they liked your game and they understood your game. So having that was like really important because we know that what we have is actually worth something, and people like it. Like it's not just a clone game that people are kind of like, oh, this is such a clone. The thing I found really challenging though, so I made the demo as a standalone game, a completely standalone game that's separate to the actual game that's going to be released, probably next year sometime. But the thing that I found is it's really hard to get people to play this demo on their lives. Like trying to get we don't play demos, we only play full games. It's like, but the demos, it's not like a part of the game. It's, like, so it's really, that's the challenging part at the moment is trying to get some YouTubers, streamers to kind of come on board and play the game and trial it out because it is its own game, not something else. But yeah, everyone just normally goes, hey, here's the first level. We haven't done that. We've made a separate game. So,
one question I probably should have asked earlier. We were talking about, people coming up to play your game. Any particular, game publications may have played your game, or hell, even an influencer with a butt ton of followers or something like that? Because they're the ones that might tell others of your game.
Yeah, there was a couple of those. There was a couple of them, but not tons of them. Like everyone's kind of waiting for the game to go to Nintendo. We're releasing on Steam first, and everyone's like, "Hey, when it comes to Nintendo, let us know because we'll put this in our magazine or our website on our website, or we'll do." Everyone's like, "Hey, that's such a Nintendo game," and I have to kind of agree with them, but we've kind of got to go through our process of getting it to market, put it on Steam, all that kind of thing first, and yeah. But I think the Nintendo crowd will really go for the game.
Think of it this way: you're building anticipation. That need, like, when they gotta release it, that's could happen there too.
I forgot to tell you okay, I don't know if I should tell this story or not because it's a bit of a it's a bit.
Don't
weird.
worry, I won't hear it. Yeah.
Okay, so we got there. I talked to this girl came up to us and she goes, "Oh, I saw you from TikTok. You like told me about your game, and I come over to see it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. Anyway, she sat around and chatted to us every single day, like such a lovely person. But she was like going out and actively like, so we had like all these little stickers to give people if they came over to the booth and stuff like that. She was actively going out and like trying to throw stickers into like ladies' handbags and stuff like that. It was kind of like
that's some aggressive advertising.
Yeah, I know, all right. There was nothing untoward in it. It was just like it was all good in good faith, but it was just like, oh my god, I'm trying to like not laugh at it. I can see her in the like across the way throwing these little stickers into bags, and I'm like, I'm trying to talk to someone seriously about the game and not laugh at her doing this in the background. It was.
Hey, that's great, dude. You get a following.
Yeah.
Probably what I would have done is I would have taken all those stickers, gone outside to where everyone was parked, and just like throw them all on the cars and stuff like that. So get them that way.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Oh.
Yeah, people do that here. I don't know if that's an Australian thing, but in America, yeah, you'll go to your car in your parking lot and at some store and be like, oh, something about Jesus. Or like they're advertising car washes and low APR, stuff like that. Think of that. It sounds something akin to that. But that was good. And it's cool that you're giving her a shout out. I mean, she was your super partner.
No, she was awesome and lots of fun. But I was just like, oh, I don't want to be like associated with this throwing stuff in people's bags. That's kind of like it's getting over the line of where I want to go.
If you're watching this, comment below.
I didn't do it.
Comment below. We want to get your side of the story there. We're gonna call you Sergeant Sticker until we actually get your real name or something better to go with. So Sergeant Sticker, if you're out there, let us know how the campaign.
So, yeah, but I don't know. It's something I'll never forget, and it was just lots and lots of fun. And yeah, and okay, so let me just say, what did you think of Lighthouse World? Before we go to Mario Wonder, what did you think of Lighthouse World? You've played a little bit of it now. Was it worth going to see it at PAX if you were at PAX,
Before I get too into it, I will say this. I hope it does come out on the Switch, but I'm not really ready to say it's a Nintendo game. Only because I'll say this, and this is something that you said about this game, and I gotta agree with you. It's a very unique feeling game. Yeah. It's the kind of game that you would expect to find on the PC, because, and that's one thing I'll always give to the PC. That's one thing as a console gamer through and through, I will always give that to the PC. The innovation usually comes there.
Yeah,
usually. Yeah. Sometimes the console will do something first, like Mario, whatever, like Super Mario Bros. Or something like that. But like when you think of like Doom, when you think of MMOs, like stuff like that, and even indie games in general, all those ideas just like were birthed from the personal computer.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely say it feels right as a PC game. Personally, when I played it, I enjoyed it a lot. I can't really give you too much of it because it was just the demo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was one of those games that did quite what I thought it was going to do, which was to provide some puzzles that weren't going to make you rip your hair out. Control-wise, for the record, I used the controller.
Yeah.
There was a controller option, so I used the controller. Maybe when I play it again, I'll do mouse keyboard just to get a better view on that, but
the controller, I've enhanced the controller since you played it as well, so it will be better at everything.
There were little touches I liked. I don't know why, but just like when the word bubbles were up there and they just fell, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. I got a kick out of that. I definitely like the character, and he better be in the next Smash Brothers game. Like, at least make him an assist trophy. Come on.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember his name.
Nim.
Yeah. Nim.
Yeah.
Is that N-I-M or N-Y-M?
N-Y-M.
That's cool. That's so I definitely want to see, where Nim's adventure takes him next. I mean, it seems like a simple adventure the way he describes it. He's just following his dog, but I can definitely smell something's afoot. The puzzles themselves were really, for a demo, were really fun. I noticed that at the end of the level there was a little Easter egg that if you got 30 coins, it's coin collecting, by the way, to anyone's watching. You get some when you complete puzzles. Yeah. I wasn't able to get all the coins, so I didn't get to see that. But I do plan on playing it again.
Maybe you can live stream it and make it your mission to get all those coins.
I plan on it, absolutely, yes.
And then you'll get the important message. That's one thing I did want to quickly say is that people would actually go back. People would come out and go, "Oh, the dog's name." They would address the dog by his name, Chewy. Like they would say that. They was like, "Huh, you actually learned his name in the space of time." Like I wasn't expecting to learn. I was like expecting people to go, "Oh, the dog this, the dog that," But like, yeah, okay.
Now, I really enjoyed the demo.
Yeah, cool.
However,
oh shit,
come on, all right, come on, all right. It's light, all right. I'm not gonna say, there was one thing I noticed that when I was kicking the boxes. Yeah. For the record, there's some of the puzzles you have to like move boxes around just to like, kind of put it in the right position. I noticed sometimes there was some to wiggle in between the boxes, but you actually said that was a mistake in general, and that you actually fixed it. You're not supposed to do it that way. So when I thought that way, I thought, oh wow, that's cool. I always like to see what I can do to a game to make it mine whenever I play it, no matter what game it is. Mm-hmm. I don't care if it's Ninja Gaiden. To make it my own personal experience. So the fact that I actually found that kind of increased my like of the game that much, because now I had my own unique take on it.
Well, a couple of people found that, and I posed the question to you like I posed to them. I said, does it take away, like you found a glitch, right? That something you're not supposed to do. Now, does that take away from your experience, or does it add to your experience because you found something a little bit unique here?
1989. I'm like 5-6 years old, and I am playing Rygar for the NES. Yeah. If anyone's watching it, it's available on the Switch NES service. Play it. Phenomenal game, a precursor to the Metroidvania series. There's a part, and it's like a jump, and there's this like monster thing that's shooting bullets at you, and there's like no room to land and start hitting them. Yeah. In order to do it well, you have to take a hit. You have to. And right after him, there's a really tough 8-bit 1980s boss ready to just turn you into spaghetti. And you need full health. Right. You know what I mean? You need full health medicine, and you just need to like get your, dip to shore. But if you back up just a little bit when he's on the screen until he just disappears, and then you keep going, he's gone. Now, when I found that when I was a kid, like, that's the reason why I remember playing that. That's why I play it now, is because I found that. When you find stuff like that, it just becomes a positive, unique experience. Thanks to the proliferation of, like, YouTube and Twitch and all that, a lot more people share that kind of thing with them, but just that thrill of discovery of just, like, able to manipulate the system, it's a feeling that, is unlike any other.
Well, that's how I used to beat a lot of bosses back in the day, was by finding little tricks of how I could hide behind a rock or something, and then they couldn't hit me, but I could hit them if I could get them in the exact right position, to take down certain bosses. And some bosses I would never have taken down to this day if I didn't find those little tricks that I would find in games. So.
One of my favorite tricks was, of course, GoldenEye. This is one that I think, it's common to people that play GoldenEye, but if you actually, like, the enemies, when they shoot, their arms are like this out. It doesn't matter what they're holding, just shoot. If you run up to them, kind of like get to, like, hug them, and their arms are actually behind you and they shoot, they don't hit you.
Oh.
So if you're actually playing the Moonraker level, and Jaws has, like, 2 guns, and they mess you up. But if you just run to them, Like it's actually easy to take him out. He takes a lot of bullets, but it's simple.
I know that that game is a very good example, actually, because I know that there are certain levels where you can, I think, in the facility that you can actually put bombs down or throw grenades in certain areas, and they'll kill the enemies on the next level above you.
Oh no, yeah. Explosions are funny, I think,
Yeah.
when it comes to game mechanics. Because, like, there's always... I was playing some Duke Nukem, and if they're behind a force field, but you have explosive materials, you can still kill them.
Yeah, that's I don't know. There's a lot of cool games like that I think. Did you ever? I should have asked this question. Let me just see if I can find the game. A game. I think came out like it's called Slayer X Terminal Aftermath Vengeance of something or other. Did you ever play that?
That title is way too long for me. I did not play that. No.
Look it up. I'm going to do a recommendation here. Now it's basically based off all those.
What's it called again?
Slayers X Terminal Aftermath.
Slayers X. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's basically like all those early 3D games, Dooms, and that they've made a newer version of it.
You know what term I hate? You know what I think is the worst goddamn term in video game right now?
What?
Boomer shooter.
Oh, boomer shooter.
Yeah. Doom, Duke Nukem, Quake, Shadow Warrior, Triad, even GoldenEye, which at the very least that has objectives. You know what I mean? They're considered boomer shooters. Where it's just, go in the room, kill the bad guys, collect the red card, keep going. Yeah. I love these games. Well, what's it out for? Platform. Microsoft.
It's on Xbox. It's on Xbox Game Pass. If you want. But I feel like this is your game. I played it the other, probably 3 months ago now, and it's definitely got so many things that you would love in it.
Oh, wow. It's Duke Nukem, huh?
Yeah.
God damn, I know what I'm playing tonight. I don't know whether to get it for Xbox or PC, though, honestly. I mean...
Well, it plays really nice with the controller, and I know you're a controller kind of guy.
I am a controller kind of guy, but I do try to, put some respect. Right now I'm playing through Black Mesa. Because Half-Life was just so born on the PC, I do that with mouse and keyboard. Plus, you can quick save, so it's all right in case I, if you ever see me play, if you ever watch one of my streams and, I clearly, just stop, chances are I'm away from the WSAD for some reason, and I gotta kind of look down and, readjust myself.
I bought one of those other things so I can use.
I know. I got to go ahead and get that at some point.
It's so much better.
Yeah. No, and when I do some games though, like Duke Nukem 3D, I'll play that with the controller because I've been playing that with controller since Duke Nukem 64.
But yeah, that's one that you've got to get to. I feel like it's got you all over it. But let's get quickly onto this Mario Wonder. I feel like we should get a bit of that involved before we get going. What's your thoughts? First impressions.
First impressions is this. I mean, I'm going to try really, really, really hard. No, actually, no, I'm not going to try hard. I'm biased. I love Mario yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. This is a completely biased review. This game is awesome, all right? I really, really enjoy this game. Rather than talk about because now it's stupid to say, I really like the level design, because of course, it's a Mario game. Naturally, you like the level design. But I'm just going to go into, the stuff that, I haven't really seen in Mario. The first thing that I love is the animations of the enemies. If you just watch them and just don't even move. Just let them do their thing. Just the way they react to items and each other and you. The look, I just noticed this. I couldn't help but love that. But when you jump on a Goomba, you see them go like this. like that. Like it's just so it's more animated than the movie was. It's just a small little detail. It really means nothing. You know what I mean? In the long run, it's no different than jumping on Goombas in '85. But it just does it in such a way that's like it's so funny. It's so full of life, and that it's great. Speaking of the enemies, the new enemies in this game, I actually find challenging and likable. Like they're good enemies. They could have stuck with just the regular Goombas, Koopa Troopas, Beetles, Boos, the occasional Thwomp and Thwimp, and just like called it a day. But I'm seeing these brand new varieties of enemies that are just like they effortlessly just slide into Mario canon, and they're not too easy, they're not too annoying. So, the birds are a little annoying, the ones that crash down, but. Now, they're a little annoying.
What are those things with that are white with the brown tops on them, and they're different heights, and they come at you really slow?
I like those guys.
I kind of think they're like they look like shallots or something like that. Like
yeah, no, I thought they're like those weird mushrooms that like grow really long, like maybe those. But like I would, even though I like the design and I think they're fun, I was kind of disappointed you couldn't be on top of them. I thought that's what it was because they're flat on top. So I remember jumping on one thinking I could ride it, and it just knocks it out, which was like, all right, that's cool. The level design itself, I like the way the levels are because you just have a couple of your regular Mario levels, but then you got those like badge challenge levels. You got the levels where to defeat all these enemies, just like nice what they are, just challenges, a quick break. If there is one thing I don't like about the game, and this is something I don't like about a lot of games, but don't shoehorn multiplayer into a Mario game like that. And it seems some people love it on people love new Super Mario Brothers multiplayer and all that. I hate it. I lose where I am. I can never tell where I'm going. I'm either dragging someone behind or I'm keeping someone from going forward. Maybe if you actually, maybe it's the problem is I've always played with children who don't take direction well and have fallen down pits and everything. And I'm sure maybe if you get 3 people that know what they're doing, it's fine. But I've never had it in for single-player, multiplayer Mario. Kart, tennis, brawl, melee, anything that like involves Mario, doing things with other people that's not a regular game, love it. But just not as platforming stuff. So the fact that there's a couple challenges that you kind of need people, I don't like that too much. I'll probably ask some people. I'm like, hey, I got to do this. Does anyone want to play real quick with me, and so I can get these Wonder Seeds?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to go with the biased opinion. I'm going to go with the objective opinion. Let me be a.
You've always loved Sonic more. Just admit it.
No, actually, I haven't. But I will say that this game. You start the game and you instantly love it. Like the first 5 or 6 levels, like before you know it, you played 3 hours of the game and time's flying and you just love it. But that's when I kind of started to see some cracks and things that I didn't like about the game. I found it kind of was starting to get a little bit less. The story's not kind of nearly as involved in this. It's kind of like you're going through levels because that's what you do in Mario, but there's no really anything else to it. There's no substance to it, as much as there was in other Marios.
Well, I mean, I know Odyssey had a plot where they were trying to get married, and you had the hats there.
Yeah,
and,
but
honestly, though.
That kind of probably a bit sexist. So
it's got to be said. Mario, it is a flaw at Mario, but Mario, unfortunately, is one of those franchises that I feel that maybe not everyone feels this way, and that's perfectly fine. It's more of an opinion thing, but I feel they're the only ones that can actually get away with that because it's their trope. You know what I mean? Like, princess is kidnapped, go save her. The end. Like. They were the originators. So, yeah, if anyone else just did that, if you put out a generic, even if it was a great platformer, not even generic, put out a great platformer that wasn't Mario, but the plot was seriously like princess is kidnapped, go get her, and that's that.
Well, the princess isn't even kidnapped. the Bowser's just come over and taken over the castle, and you've got to go and get the castle back.
He's become the castle.
Yes.
He's become one with the castle.
But that's the crappiest story. We're not even saving anyone anymore. Like it's, I'm sorry. That's one thing. I'm just like, do I have to do all these levels to save the castle?
But a trade-off on that, though, is, of course, you're right, because Peach is around now. And I like the fact that there's a lot of playable characters now. You got Mario, you got Luigi, you got Peach, you got Daisy, you got 2 Toads, you got a bunch of Yoshis, you got Nabbit. I wouldn't be surprised if they release some characters down the road. You know, like, hell, people want to play... I would play Mario Wonder as Waluigi. I would. No. Why not?
Playing Mario Wonder as Sonic.
Wow, that'd be a head scratcher, huh? Oh, god damn.
Mario Wonder as Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, like, no, that actually brings up, or even have the a Link based off of, Adventures of Link or something like that. That I know they could do stuff like that. But I can see where you're coming from. That it's Bowser's now the castle. Before he was in a tuxedo. Before that, he was as large as a planet. Before that, he was in a cat suit. Before that, he was like, so it's like, it is a new flavor of Bowser, and to that is a little long in the tooth, or long in the horn, I should say. One thing I do like is, and I mean, at this point, you expect at least 1 or 2 toe tappers from Mario games. Music. I find that I don't think it was in every final level in a world, but in the last level for World 2, I forget the name of it. The music there was really good.
Yeah. I like, the one thing that I really, really love is the actual where you can carry a second suit or whatever. So you can carry a mushroom, or you can carry like a second elephant suit. And then if you lose that suit, you can use the other one that you got. Like,
speaking of the suits, I will say this: while I'm not too impressed with the elephant suit, I will say this: at least it's not a hindrance. At least it doesn't get in the way.
It feels slow. I was worried about that. It feels slower though.
It feels slower, but you can still duck. Your jumping is still fine, or at least it was fine with me. So at least it does that. At least it doesn't make the game work. You got it.
You know what I love about it the most? The elephant suit. You stand in like a fountain and you start throwing water around, and flowers grow. That it's just this little tiny little detail that I really enjoy about that elephant suit.
Ooh. Here's something I want to ask you, since you kind of just brought up into. Because I didn't think this would be that controversial, but people are talking about it on the interwebs, so we'll talk about it now. We'll give our word. What do you think about the talking flowers?
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you about that. That's so weird. It kind of freaked me out. I kind of like it, but it's like
I'm just not.
It's so not used to it.
Yeah. Like, I'm not used to hearing such coherent banter in a Mario game, like a real, like a Mario, a 2D Mario game.
Yeah.
And people are saying, "Don't worry, you got this."
Yeah.
Or like, "Wow." I was just like,
it's creepy. It's like a guy looking over the fence at small children, like saying something creepy. It's got that real sinister, sad. Yeah, I don't like it that much.
I'm gonna keep it on until I beat it, because it has helped me sometimes. Sometimes it'd be like, I wonder if there's something down there, or something like that. Like, so I'll keep it on for now, because it does occasionally give you the hints and stuff. But my next playthrough, sorry,
it's gone.
It's not terrible. It's not cringy. So there's that, because it's so quick. It's just sound bites. There's no time to cringe.
But it's just cringy after a while, though. After you go past it 3 times and it does, you're like, ugh, can you shut up? Like, if you did it once. If you're exploring a level, you're trying to get that last wonder scene, you keep walking by the same one, like, it's scary up here. Ugh.
Scary up here. Then like that. But it was definitely, while jarring, and I did get a kick out of it at first. At first, I was like, wow. But definitely after a while, by the time I get to the end of the game, that option's going off.
You know what? Okay, so whilst I love those, because every time I would get like a raccoon suit, I'd always like lose it in 2 seconds, and then I'd be like sad that I didn't have a raccoon suit. And so having that second ability waiting for me to use, I love that. But the actual badges, so when you go into a level now, you can choose what badges you want to use for the level, and each badge will give you like a unique ability. Like you can use it to go up walls, or you could use it to I think you can do like a different jump and different things like that. Now the badges, I don't love them, only because like I love the idea of them, but you almost have to play the level to then work out what badge you want to use for the level. You know, there's no like indication these would be the top badges for this level, or this is the badges we would recommend for this level. So I had this badge that was helping me swim faster. It was like a dolphin badge, and I used it for 3 levels because they were in this water area. And then I went to this next level, and I still have my dolphin badge on, and I was still in the water area, but there was no water in that level, so that badge was useless. So I kind of had to restart the level again to change badges. It just, I don't know. It'd be nice if you kind of got some indication of like the most popular badge for this level is this, or something like that.
No, yeah, I my default badge I was going to a level with is that one that you dash up a wall a little. That saved my butt a lot already.
Yeah.
With some of these jumps, so that's definitely what I go to. But I do agree. There was one level where it was just honestly it was just one of those purple 10 coins there. But I figured there'd be something else there, and the only way to get to this area because there was a current would be have the dolphin swim. And this wasn't even I don't even think this was an actual water level. Maybe it was. Yeah. But normally, obviously, if you get a badge right before you go to a level, usually that means have that badge on when you go. But then it's like, do you have it at the next level? Or, what do you have when you go to fight the boss? It's tough. Yeah. I know I'll definitely be getting the hidden block badge and going back to a lot of levels I've played to figure out where secrets are. I mean, that's probably what they want you to do in the beginning. I
think they're trying to get you to get like multiple playthroughs of each level with these like equipping each badge to kind of do that. But I just wish it would tell you what badge they would recommend for that level. Like the best advantage badge would be this badge. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
Because if I want to go back and with the hidden blocks badge, that's my choice. But yeah, like that. I also would like to say that. So I learned like that. My favorite new ability is the bubble, where I can just blow bubbles. That's really cool. I did see a guy that worked out that you can blow bubbles, jump on a bubble, bounce off it, spin, blow another bubble, jump on the bubble, spin, and you can work your way across the whole level doing that.
I'm gonna try that.
I'm not good enough for that. Like I'm not. I only last about 3 bubbles and then I fall.
I'm confident in my Mario abilities. I think I can get it.
Yeah.
I think I can get up to 10 bubbles.
Yeah. So you can get like across huge gaps in the floor and that by using this bubble bounce thing.
Gotta try it.
Yeah. So I do. Yeah. There's so much. And my favorite enemy is probably the one where I don't even know if you call them an enemy. I suppose technically they are. That they throw their beaks shoot out at you and then they make platforms. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. They were good enemies too. Yeah. Like I said, the new enemies. I'm only at World 3, so I'm looking forward to see what the rest of the game's got for me.
Oh my god! The second ability of the jump. You know the jump one where you jump up the walls. The second part to get that. So it's the next badge up. It's badge part 2. Is so hard and annoying.
Oh. I like that. You know why? I check it out on my streaming channel. It reminds me so much of the last part of Metroid.
Yeah.
with Metroid, after you defeat Mother Brain, you got to climb up the thing, and
Uh,
platforms are so tiny. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like it requires so much precision. It kind of reminded me of that. I got flashes of that. So I see. As I was playing it, it took me a little while. I was like, people probably hate this part, but I loved it just because it reminded me of
It
Metroid.
could have been just that tiny bit easier. Like it was so, like the top one where like they like spinning around, like oh that bit there, I
Yeah,
was just about to throw my controller at somebody's face. Like
that was a good level. I enjoyed that level.
oh
It sucked. I agree with you.
yeah,
It sucked, but I enjoyed that level.
oh it was just so much. Yeah, and speaking of interesting different details, you may not have noticed this because I don't. Do you have any other accounts on your Switch?
Yes. My niece has her own separate
Okay.
account on my Switch.
So normally, if you go into a Switch game, you click on the Switch game, and it'll come up. What account would you like to use for this game? In Mario Wonder, you click on it, it goes into the game, and then you choose your account in the game. Like, I don't know, like why that makes me so happy, but it just made me like enjoy that part so much more.
Interesting. Yeah, I never thought of it that. But yeah, no. It's just for when, like, she doesn't live with me or anything. It's just like when she comes over for the weekend. It's like, yeah, here you can watch Crunchyroll on my
Yes,
Switch.
but it kind of because me and my kids have all got accounts, so I'm kind of like, how do I get to my account? It didn't come up with that, and then you have to actually go into the game to change accounts, which is like I don't know, just something way different for a Switch game. But yeah, I think we must be nearly out of time. Have you got any-
Well, no, I think I got all I wanted. It sounded like you had a great time at PAX. Jealous, I mean, and it was one of the. Now, to look to the future, I mean, naturally, by time PAX hits again next year, will Light Haze World be out, or will it be ready to go out, or do you think you might need to go to PAX again?
I think I'm going to try to go to PAX every year.
Yeah, but now you're gonna have to go. Now you got to be one. You got to be one of the many, though. Hey, you should be an enforcer now, though. Be
No,
one of
no,
them
no.
enforcers.
I want to be there with a game every year. That's my dream.
Now you're just pumping. That's
Yeah.
an easy, sustainable person. A person that releases a game new year just so they can get a good
Go.
booth at PAX every year. Like we're back, Garen.
Yeah.
Light Haze World Part 76. Here we go.
It's just an extra level. We just
Right,
take
yeah.
the PAX
One
again.
level every game.
Yeah. But yeah, I actually want to go to GamesCon as well because it's another one that's quite big. It's more of a European Asian kind of one. PAX is America, Australia. So I'd like to go to a different games convention as well to see what they do at other. Well, I assume it's going to be much the same, but it'd be nice to try different conventions, I think.
No, I hope you do.
I'll come to PAX US, see if they'll take me over there.
Yeah, I'll throw in a good word.
But yeah. All right, then we'll get back to normal scheduling next week. We'll get back to just talking some anything gaming. It won't be as I don't know, boring's probably not the right word, but it won't be as focused as it was this week. How about that word?
Right, yeah, we had a theme, but I enjoyed it, and I hope that the viewers enjoyed it too. I learned a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm back to normal again, so I'm not dying anymore. Anyway, thank you for watching. We're out for this week. I'm Ant. That's Woody. We'll talk to you again next week.